White has found herself in Charlottesville. And I didn't even trip off this earlier today. But shout out to Ben Daniel, man, because it had dawned on me, which I think they lying, that technically, based off what they're saying, Caitlin Clark is not cleared to play 5.
Stephanie White just got caught slipping again, and this time even doctors are calling her out on camera. That whole minor injury story about Caitlin Clark? Yeah, it completely fell apart. Fans are absolutely furious right now. Honestly, it feels like full-blown damage control. The real question is, how long did Stephanie think she could keep this lie going before all the receipts started showing up? Let's talk about it. Stephanie White and the Indiana Fever really thought they could play doctor and PR manager at the same time. Not a smart move.
In July, right? You know, because, matter of fact, guys, there's a doctor that shared some information. You know what? Give me a quick second. Let me pull up this clip. Now, y'all know me, man. I gotta come with the facts. And the fact of the matter is, Stephanie White is looking real spooky. Now, this was back in July. Now, this is just one doctor. Oh, we got 2. Let's listen to this. Let's just have a rewind back.
Another groin strain. This is the other side. As we talked about with the first one on the left side coming back after the quad, day-to-day is not accurate for even a minor groin strain. It was closer to 2 weeks before she returned, played well, and now the other side, the right side. It is unclear what imaging shows, but once again, the new groin strain is not day-to-day. She's already missing the All-Star game and the three-point contest. The question is, how much more? We won't know until we know about the imaging details, which were not revealed, but in any case, it's...
Remember that day-to-day, closer to week-to-week talk? It all started back in July when they first called Caitlin Clark's injury a groin strain. They said it was just a day-to-day thing, but now doctors are stepping in saying, no, that's absolutely not how groin injuries work. A real sports doctor even came out and broke down the timeline for everyone. He said flat out, a groin strain is never day-to-day. It's week-to-week at best. So when the Fever told us Caitlin was just resting for a few days, they were already lying through their teeth. And get this, that wasn't even her first injury. The doctor laid out the full pattern. May 26th, left quad strain. July 5th, left groin strain. July 16th, right groin strain. That's 3 injuries in less than 2 months. But Stephanie White kept calling them all minor. Minor? Girl, at that point, her legs were practically screaming for a vacation.
Basically says Caitlin Clark is not cleared. Now, I did the first video. Now, this is from another doctor back in July breaking down a time frame of Caitlin Clark injury. Listen to this. This was on July the 16th. Now, this is when Caitlin Clark injuries happened, right? It says Caitlin Clark injury history. Left quad strain, May the 26th. Left a groin strain, July 5th. Right groin strain, July 16th. He said initially he thought the strain she suffered last night was a re-injury, but realized that it wasn't. Obviously, we know that. Now, this was all the reports that was released by the Indiana Fever front office. Out status. This was all.
The doctor even mentioned that it was closer to a month-long recovery, not just a few days. So while all of us fans were waiting for Caitlin to finally come back, Stephanie was out here saying things like, oh, she's tough. She heals fast. Please. That's just not how medicine works. Period. But here's where it gets interesting. Doctors are now speaking up online, saying they were never contacted by the Fever to review anything at all. Basically, the team made up its own recovery timeline. It was pure PR over player health. Great job, coach. And listen, fans aren't stupid. They've been tracking this whole situation for months. One fan literally said, no one believes a single word coming.
Fans is catching on to. One fan said, no one believes a single word. The biggest liar in the women's basketball landscape, aka Stephanie White, had to say, I'm not saying this. They said this 20 hours ago.
Because if you go back and actually watch those interviews, and believe me, I did, Stephanie contradicted herself like 5 different times in just 2 months. First, it was a minor strain. Then it was day to day. Then, she'll be fine next week. And suddenly we're hearing, she's not cleared for 5-on-5 yet. What? So she can't even scrimmage, but she can still travel with the team and sit courtside? Make that make sense, because it doesn't. And here's the crazy part. Even back then, Caitlyn was refusing to see the Fever's medical staff. She was literally getting checked by her own doctors. That should have been a giant red flag for everyone right there. If your star player doesn't trust the team's doctors, something is definitely wrong. But instead of being honest about what was really happening, Stephanie just kept throwing out the same robotic lines. "We're taking it one day at a time." She's in good spirits.
Stephanie White, this is you right here. Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me get out of this full screen here. This is when? May the 26th. This was Stephanie White. Listen.
Say so, Steph. Do you even know when Caitlyn's injured?
I don't know when it happened. I know afterwards, we got a message that she had.
Let's be real. They actually wanted Caitlyn off the court so they could run their system without her. Think about it. The moment she touches the ball, the entire offense shifts around her, and Stephanie White hated that. So they played the long game. They stretched out the injury, kept saying she was almost back, and tried to push their weird scheme that clearly wasn't working. And now the truth is finally out. Doctors have flat out said she should have been back weeks earlier. That means Stephanie White and the front office basically lied to the media and the fans for months. It's like they forgot the internet even exists. Fans immediately pulled up old press conferences where Stephanie called Caitlyn's injuries minor setbacks and swore she'd probably be ready next week. Well, next week somehow turned into 6 weeks, and by then the entire season was falling apart. You can't call that a setback. That's a full-blown cover-up. And get this, she's done this every single year. This isn't new behavior. It's the 3rd season in a row with mystery injuries, secret scans, and that same "we'll see tomorrow" nonsense. Same excuse, different year, so when people talk about instant regret, they mean it. Because now, every single doctor and reporter is digging up the receipts. Stephanie can't wiggle her way out of this one. There's even video from May where she straight up said she didn't know when Caitlyn got hurt, just that something was going on with her leg. You're the head coach. How do you not know when your star player got injured? Then, a month later, she's on camera saying she does know what happened and that Caitlyn's a quick healer. Which one is it, Steph? You can't be clueless one week and Dr. White the next. That's exactly why fans are roasting her online right now. They see right through it. They're saying she was protecting her job, not her player. Because if Caitlyn came back and the Fever still lost, all the blame would have fallen straight on the coach. Her injury was just a convenient excuse. And now, after all these cover-ups and contradictions, guess what? Doctors are actually saying Caitlyn Clark's injury was fully healed weeks ago. She was cleared for 5-on-5 even earlier than they claimed. So why was she still on the sideline? You already know the answer. Stephanie was just buying time. She kept talking about mental recovery and slow progression, but nah. She just didn't want Caitlyn messing up her playbook. And now, it's all blowing up in her face. Doctors are exposing the real timeline. Fans are exposing the lies. And reporters are connecting all the dots. It's truly not a good look. At this point, the Indiana Fever should honestly just hold a press conference and say, yeah, we messed up. Because every day they act like nothing's wrong, they just look worse and worse. The funniest part? They keep calling it a learning experience. Bro, this isn't a science project. This is a professional league. You can't just experiment with your star player's entire career. Now Stephanie's getting dragged on every single platform. Fans are editing clips of her saying "day to day" over and over again, with clown music in the background. Someone even made a meme that said, Stephanie White's medical degree was earned on Google Images. It's cold, but accurate. You almost have to laugh because it's so messy. But here's the serious issue. When you lie about injuries, you're not just fooling the fans. You're risking that player's entire future. Caitlyn Clark's body is her career. Every bad call from a coach or trainer can cost her millions down the line. So if you know she's hurt, let her heal. Period. Don't pretend it's just tightness so you can look like a hero when she finally comes back. That's not coaching. That's PR nonsense. And let's not forget the timing. It all started right when the Fever were pushing for the playoffs. Then, boom, Caitlyn's hurt. The team loses momentum and the season collapses. Instead of owning it, Stephanie hid behind medical excuses. Classic move. It's like she thought fans would just forget everything. But the WNBA community doesn't forget anything. They've got timestamps, screenshots, and every doctor's tweet bookmarked. Then new info dropped this week saying Caitlyn was never in any real danger, and fans lost it. Now, every interview Stephanie does gets flooded with comments like, "Tell the truth. You lied about Clark." She can't even post a pumpkin emoji without someone replying. Still lying. That's what happens when you completely break trust. Once people see you as dishonest, it's over, and this won't be going away anytime soon. Because now, other players and even analysts are starting to speak up, saying this isn't the first time a coach messed with an injury timeline for PR. Stephanie White is about to become the poster child for bad management. Instant regret doesn't even begin to cover it. This is career-ending kind of regret. You can already see the Fever trying to scrub the mess, deleting old posts, editing quotes, acting like none of this ever happened. But come on, the internet never forgets. Caitlyn Clark's fine now. Doctors say she's healthy and ready to play. But this whole saga proved one thing. Some coaches care more about optics than honesty. And Stephanie White just learned that the hard way. The fallout has been wild. You'd think after getting exposed by doctors, she'd come out, own it, and move on. But nope. She's doubling down like nothing happened. Smiling in pressers, repeating those same one day at a time lines like a broken record. And fans? They're letting her have it. The Fever's comment section is a war zone. Every post, doesn't matter what it's about, is flooded with, "Stop lying about Caitlyn." That's what happens when you insult people's intelligence. You can't call fans family one day and feed them made-up injury updates the next. The doctors who expose this aren't backing down either. They're giving interviews, explaining why the Fever's story makes no medical sense. One even said, it's highly unlikely a pro athlete with multiple groin strains returns to full movement in under 2 weeks. Translation, Stephanie White, you're full of it. And the timing makes her look even worse. Remember when she said Caitlyn was almost ready before that road trip? Yeah. Turns out that same week, the team quietly filed for extra medical evaluations, meaning they knew she wasn't close to ready. So not only did they lie, they planned around the lie. That's next-level manipulation. Even other players are throwing shade without saying names. One tweeted, "Protect your body. They'll smile in your face and ruin your career behind your back." Everyone knew who that was about. Now the media's turning too. Headlines like, "Fever coaching staff faces credibility crisis." That's journalist code for, "We caught you lying, so why lie in the first place?" Because the team was desperate. The Fever's season was collapsing, and instead of being honest, they faked optimism. The classic, "she's fine, just resting" routine. But when you say that for 3 months, people connect the dots. Caitlyn wasn't injured anymore, she was frustrated. She wanted to play, and they held her back. That's not caution, that's sabotage. There's even a clip where Stephanie says, "We're being cautious with Caitlyn," while Caitlyn had already been cleared to scrimmage by her personal doctors. You can literally see the assistant coach's face twitch. Even he didn't buy it. Now that the receipts are out, every old interview looks fake. The smiles, the vague updates, the "she's feeling good" lines. All just damage control in real time, and fans are brutal. Stephanie White treating Caitlyn Clark's recovery like a Netflix cliffhanger. Can someone tell the Fever this isn't the CIA? We can handle the truth. It's funny, but there's truth behind the jokes. At this point, Stephanie's best move might be to lay low, because every time she talks, it gets worse. The internet's calling it the Caitlyn cover-up. The memes are flying, the truth's out, and while it's hilarious to watch unfold, it's also sad. Because all of this could have been avoided. If honesty had just been the first option, Stephanie White wanted control. Now she's lost it. Caitlyn's fine. But that coaching reputation? Not so much.